Welcome back. Good morning, Colorado. You're taking a live look at Pueblo. Good morning to the Steel City. Time now is 6:44. And we're going to send it over to Marty with a look at your weather. Marty.
Hey, good morning, Mia. Good morning, everybody. 6:44 right now, as mentioned. Looking out east from Woodland Park, you can see the sky is generally clear. I've seen Old Glory getting whipped around occasionally here. It's been intermittent, but there's been some wind up here. Temperatures around Teller and Park County have ranged from the upper 30s to the mid 40s this morning, which is considerably warmer than some of us have been at lower elevations in eastern Colorado. The airports in Pueblo and Colorado Springs sitting around 20. And so we still have some residual cold air left over from yesterday. Although the sky has cleared, that cold air is still in place, and it's sitting along Fountain Creek and right along the Arkansas River back out across the plains, generally low-lying areas. On the higher terrain, it's been quite a bit warmer over the last several hours, and we see some indication of that. Leadville's 38 right now, Alamosa's 37. In pockets here where we don't have major reporting stations on the mountains, we have a lot of locations that are in the 40s. Futurecast shows we're going to keep the sky mostly clear this morning. We'll probably have a little bit more cloud cover than is being shown here on Futurecast during the afternoon, but I think at worst we'll have a partly cloudy sky. Up to our north, you start to see the first indications of some precipitation, some spotty showers, rain, maybe a little bit of snow. Nothing real heavy is expected to fall over Colorado during the day today. And since we'll be out ahead of this today, we're actually going to be dealing with a westerly wind, a downslope Chinook wind, that's really going to warm things up and dry things out. But it's also going to bring quite a bit of wind. And Futurecast is showing at times wind speeds over 40 miles an hour on the higher terrain. So combine that with the warming and the dry air in advance of this next storm system, and once again we have concerns about wildfires. And so red flag warnings are up for all of us along and west of the interstate starting at noon. And we're going to end up reaching the 70s in much of eastern Colorado. You have to go up to the north and east to find that cooler air hanging on with 50s and 60s. And we'll have similar numbers, I think, up across the mountains and mountain valleys. I think the thing that'll be more interesting is the speed at which people warm up. And we're already on our way on the higher terrain around the Pikes Peak region, whereas the airport is considerably cooler. Now, while the numbers look like you would expect them to, a little cooler over the mountains than we will be at lower elevations in El Paso County, we'll jump up into the 60s around Teller County probably by lunchtime. And from, say, southern Colorado Springs southward, it might take until early to mid-afternoon for that to happen. Warming should happen pretty quickly up on the Palmer Divide, but bottom line is a much warmer day than today. Well, you'll probably hit the upper 70s. It may only be around 60 at lunchtime. So it'll be brief. As soon as the wind comes around off the mountains, you'll just shoot up. Again, nearer to the mountains, the warming will happen more quickly today. We'll have a mixture of 60s and 70s. And then tonight, we'll probably start out with a pretty mild evening. It'll still be windy out there. I'm sure you'll notice when you walk outside that it feels pretty warm for this time of year. But after midnight, the wind will swing around out of the north, so much colder air will come in. And by tomorrow morning, I think we'll have a blanket of low clouds and maybe some freezing fog beginning to work into southern parts of the state. Up north, over the mountains where the fires are burning, the snow will be flying, which is very welcome news for firefighting efforts. Much colder tomorrow morning from the Springs northward, teens and 20s. Along and south of the Arkansas River, we should have 30s, and that colder air will continue spilling in during the day tomorrow. Oh, pretty nice shot from our WireNut camera up on top of Cheyenne Mountain right now. Pretty colors out there this morning. So, what are we tracking over the next few days? Well, crazy temperature changes. I mean, we go one way today, go completely the other way tomorrow. Looking for those temperatures probably to moderate some during the week. The bottom line, though, is with this colder air coming in, we get a chance for some snow, which is great news for the wildfires. That's where the heaviest snow should fall. So, finally, a little bit of help from Mother Nature in that regard.
Marty, thank you. We're going to be right back here with more of your news and weather.